What's going on, everybody? We are live. It is August 6th, 2025. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means. Today we have received some groundbreaking news between WWE and ESPN. And I've been covering this, researching this, doing this all throughout the morning. The news dropped very early this morning and across social media. There's just been a lot of talk about this. There's been a lot of misinformation on this. There's been just so much stuff being said about it, and I feel like the best thing to do is go live, break down the deal, talk about it in detail, and then, of course, answer any of your guys' questions that you have, because I know there's a lot of people who are wondering what the hell is going on, and a lot of people are panicking, to be honest, which I actually understand why. I think maybe the rollout has been somewhat confusing, but that's why I'm here, and we're going to talk about this, and we're going to, address all the concerns. We are multi-streaming live on Twitter as well as YouTube. If you guys are watching live, I appreciate you. If you could do me a favor and like this stream or retweet this stream, that would be great. Because, again, what we really want to do is curb the misinformation that's out there. I think there's just too much stuff that's being said, a lot of things that are being talked about, and quite frankly, I don't know if people truly understand what is actually happening. I have some screen grabs that I can show you guys as well that will hopefully bring you guys a little bit more clarity. And yeah, so I think one of the big things too, to kind of kick things off, there was an announcement this morning early, 6 a.m. Eastern, that WWE has revealed their new TV deal for next year, 2026, for their PLEs. So we knew the Peacock deal, we knew it was coming up. We didn't know what it was going to be. And now we know that WWE is going to be bringing their premium live events to ESPN. Okay, that's phenomenal. That is honestly phenomenal. But I'm going to actually explain why. Because initially when I saw the announcement, I was flabbergasted. We saw the news that the price is $29.99 a month. I was like, whoa, what is going on? Why would they charge so much a month? But there's a whole bunch of stuff that, genuinely, I think most people are actually not impacted by this. Most people are not going to be paying for this. And I think that's why this is such a great time to do a live stream and talk about it. So, first things first, I know we have a lot of people watching, so shout out to you guys. I'll get to your questions in just a little bit. And then keep in mind, Super Chats do guarantee that your questions or comments get answered. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to kind of talk about this deal from the perspective of you guys watching. And then we'll kind of break down the deal with the money and everything like that. But we have a breakdown. So ESPN is launching an app, and the app is called ESPN. So right now they have ESPN Plus, all this stuff. Moving forward, it's just simply called ESPN. Now, here's a breakdown of how ESPN is going to work. So the application is going to cost $29.99 a month, and it's going to include all of ESPN's linear networks and other content. So keep in mind, ESPN just revealed a huge deal for the NFL Network. They just revealed the WWE is going to be on there, and that's how that works. Now, the second thing is there is a cheaper option, which is $11.99 a month, and that includes ESPN Plus and other content, but it's not going to contain the linear networks. Then they're going to have a bundle, which, if you guys are unaware, Hulu is shutting down its app in 2026. It may even be happening sooner. But the Hulu app is being shut down, and everything from Hulu is just simply being merged into Disney Plus. So ESPN and Disney Plus will be bundled for the first 12 months, but there will be ads on the Disney Plus and Hulu. As of now, I don't believe there is any ads on the $29.99 a month, okay? So that's the bundle. And then there is the annual subscription where you could pay for it a year in advance. Now, I'm reading the chat. A lot of people are saying WWE raised the price from $8 to $30 a month. No, thank you. A lot of people are saying, I'm not paying $30 a month. I'm sure as hell not paying $360 a year. I don't care why they're doing it. So here's the thing, though. A lot of people are under the belief that you are going to be paying $30 a month extra. Now, a lot of people seem to forget that there is one major thing about this that's not really being talked about. If you currently have a TV service, okay? If you currently have a TV service, let's say you have YouTube TV, Xfinity, whatever charter is called, Spectrum, whatever. These companies will actually give you the ESPN app for free. So cable subscribers are covered 100% for this. So per ESPN, per Disney, in addition to ESPN's new app, subscribers that have access to ESPN through a traditional TV provider, Comcast, DirecTV, Hulu Live TV, YouTube TV, they will now have access to this ESPN app, which is a major win. Because the thing is, Disney doesn't want cable to die. The only reason why they're launching this app is for the people who have 1,000,000% canceled cable. 1,000,000% have gotten away from from cable and all that stuff. The people who got away from Hulu Live TV, Sling TV, YouTube TV. This app is specifically for that. So if you have Xfinity, for example, if you have Dish Network, if you have traditional TV service, what you will end up doing is going to the new ESPN app on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, on your Apple TV, your Google Stick, whatever it is. Those traditional TV services, all of them qualify for it. So what's going to happen is when you get the new app, you don't pay the $29.99. You're just going to simply authenticate your account from your cable service or your TV service to then get access to it. Now, almost every person I have talked to doesn't realize that is actually what is happening here, which is why this is such a massive deal, because ESPN will also be simulcasting on the ESPN channel. So think about it this way. WWE's premium live events are coming to free cable. That's the best way to look at this. Now, the people who don't have cable chose to cut the cord. Now, if you guys have watched my content, and I have said this so many times on this channel, if you have decided to cut the cable, you already knew you were going to be doing this. You knew ahead of time when you cut the cable, you're going to pay for streaming services to make up for the fact that cable no longer exists. It's been my biggest complaint about the cable industry as a whole. I have complained about this in 2018 and 2019. I remember specifically talking about AEW's TV deal, saying, guys, they're going to Warner Bros. Discovery, but keep in mind, long term, they're going to be streaming. Like, that's a big thing. Like, this is why AEW is on HBO Max simulcasting, because there are people who no longer have cable, but they're willing to spend the 10, 15, 20 bucks or whatever it is for HBO Max and then have AEW live television. So a lot of people are thinking, oh my God, I have to spend an extra $30 to get WWE programming. That's not what's happening here. That is not what's happening here. So I actually am an Xfinity customer. I swear, when I saw the $30 price point, I was like, wow, that's a little crazy, because I knew that ESPN was rolling out the app, and I knew that the $30 price point was coming. I didn't anticipate WWE being on this app, right? So when I saw the $30, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to spend $30 now? That is a very high asking price, but that's only if you don't have cable. And I have Xfinity, and I have Xfinity Stream, and now I'll be able to do this. So, for example, through Xfinity, I get Peacock for free. I don't pay for Peacock. So I'm going to keep my Peacock, right? Because I get it for free through my cable provider. So the good news is I'm going to be able to keep my Peacock. And now I'm going to have no issue, no price increase, nothing to worry about at all, because all I'm going to do is use my Xfinity account to authenticate the new ESPN app. And then what's really cool is select WWE PLEs will also be simulcasting on traditional cable, which I don't think people have realized this part is happening, but that's exactly what will be happening. So keep in mind, ESPN has ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPN 3, ESPN Deportes, all of these different things. You will have ESPN showing WWE TV, WWE PLEs on TV. So now you guys could probably start understanding how this is actually a game changer, because people are initially thinking, I have to spend $30. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. And that's why I think this is one of those really unique experiences for WWE, because now WWE is going to capitalize in ways where not only can they get more customers, but of course, the viewership is like, there's so many things like there are so many advantages to now increasing the thing. So here's what it comes down to. So let's break this down, because I think this is an important part to everything. So for example, there are a lot of people who are saying WWE isn't worth $30 a month. Everybody can kind of pick and choose how they feel about that. But you're only paying the $30 a month if you cut the cord completely. If you got rid of live TV service in the last few years, that's who it's impacting. And I'm going to tell you guys, I worked in the television business. Before I got here, I worked in the TV network business. I will tell you guys, I remember telling you guys years ago on the channel, the way TV is, all that happened was before you paid for Comcast or Cox Cable or Xfinity Fios or whatever it was, you pay Verizon Fios, you paid for whatever you wanted, right? And then they give you channel packages, $80, $90, $100, premium package with HBO, all this stuff, right? That has basically gone downhill, because now what has happened is, instead of paying for a cable package where you don't have the channels, or you have channels that you don't want, right? Now the way television works is, if you broke away from traditional TV, then you decide, okay, maybe I want ESPN, maybe I want HBO Max, maybe I want Peacock, whatever. And I've said this years ago, it doesn't matter. The price is the same as traditional TV. It's just now you have a little bit more control over what you choose to watch. So we have actually been in a very, very funny situation with cable, because it has completely transitioned from, hey, these are the channels you're getting, shut the fuck up and deal with it, to now if you choose to cut the cord, you get to pick and choose what you want. A lot of people have cut the cord. A lot of people have switched to Sling TV. A lot of people have gone to DirecTV Stream, Xfinity Stream, YouTube TV, Hulu Live TV. The good news is, you don't have to worry about the $30. If you have one of those services, if you have traditional TV, if you have cable TV in the slightest, if you have DirecTV, there's a million of these that exist throughout the United States. But if you have one of those, you are no longer paying for it, which means you are getting WWE premium live events for free, which means you're actually getting it for cheaper than what you were paying for Peacock. I am not convinced everybody completely cut the cord. Like, I have a very, very basic TV package with Xfinity. So I am not worried about this in the slightest. I'm not worried about this in the slightest. I am not paying extra money to get WWE premium live events. And actually, the best part is I'll be able to download the app and get all the other stuff too, not just WWE. But also, I don't even have to use the app. I could just literally log onto my TV and go to ESPN or ESPN2, whatever channel they're using a simulcast. So we have Darth Bane. I see Darth in the chat. He's a member on the channel. He says, I have DirecTV. Correct. So what you would do is just use your DirecTV login to authenticate onto the app, and then you're completely fine. So a lot of you guys are in the chat. You're saying you have TV still. So that's the beauty of that. You guys will not be affected by it at all. In fact, I think that's why there's so much misinformation, because everybody's just coming out and they're like, hey, this costs $30 a month for WWE premium live events. Nobody's actually talking about the details. Then you see the actual details and you're realizing, holy shit, this is actually a game changer. And of course, that's a big deal, right? When you look at it you have to look at it from different perspectives, but when you're going on social media and everybody's telling you it's $30 for WWE pay-per-views, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, and WWE is getting buried in that right now. There's too much confusion regarding it. But straight from ESPN, straight from the sources themselves, cable subscribers are covered. Cable subscribers are covered. So that is absolutely huge. Now, again, everything is just perspective. If you cut the cord, you chose to go this route. Nobody ever said streaming would ever be cheaper than cable. Nobody. Nobody ever actually, like, anybody who realized like what was going on, I think everybody kind of knew. Cable versus streaming, it's just more of a technology difference because the price is almost the same. The only difference is you have a little bit more control with streaming when you cut the cord. So for a lot of you who have YouTube TV, Xfinity, all these things, Wow Cable, you guys don't have to worry about it. You're just going to use your login to authenticate it, and then you get it. And then the beauty of that too is you get the other perks as well. And then, of course, like some people, I know this is probably showing my age a little bit, but I know, like with Comcast, for example, if you want to watch Comcast, you have to have a cable box, and you have to pay extra for a cable box in each room that you have it, right? Well, the nice thing about this is, like, maybe you don't need an extra cable box. Maybe you don't need to pay extra for your cable, because you could just deal with one cable box and then, I mostly just watch ESPN. I mostly watch WWE. Okay, let me go on my Apple TV. Let me go on my Google Stick, my Fire Stick, my iPhone or whatever. Let me use my Xfinity login to get the free ESPN service, but I'll watch it without paying for the cable box. So now you don't even have to pay for a cable box. And that's a really big deal. You know what I mean? Like, that's a really, really big deal. I'm going to keep answering questions as they come in. I'm going to keep breaking this down for you, but we did get a super chat, so I do want to read it from Brian McCaddy. Shout out to Brian McCaddy. He says, if you were paying for each PLE outright, you are still ahead of the game paying the $30 a month. You are. That is absolutely true. However, the pay-per-view model is boring, and it's ugly, and it's disgusting. I'm just being honest. Like, the idea that, like, even AEW has this TV deal with HBO Max, and they have this pay-per-view, like the pay-per-views will eventually come to HBO Max. If you're making me pay $30, $40, $50 for a pay-per-view, I think it's ridiculous. I do. I 100% disagree with pay-per-view prices, especially when you're making me pay a subscription. And people are paying a subscription for HBO Max, by the way, to eventually be able to watch AEW pay-per-views, which you'll have to pay for those pay-per-views. It doesn't make sense. Thankfully, we're not in a situation where WWE is going back to the pay-per-view model where they're like, hey, we're charging you $60 to watch WrestleMania. At that point, I would have a very different outrage. I would have a very different outlook on it. I would be very disgusted with it, but that's not what we're getting at. In fact, there is just too much proof at this point that this is actually the best economical option possible. And that's why it was so imperative for me to do a live stream today, because I am on social media and I have seen tons of reactions. My TikTok is blowing up with comments. A lot of people are disgusted with the idea of paying $30 for pay-per-views. And then it's like, well, hold on. I do have DirecTV. Wait, I actually pay for YouTube TV. And it's like, well, hold on. Now you know you don't have to pay the $30. So that's why it was really important for us to do this live stream. And the best thing you guys can do is share this information with other people, because you do want people to know what's really happening. There is a lot of misinformation regarding this, and it's a very confusing thing. And I do have to say, I think maybe WWE kind of screwed up there, because I think WWE and ESPN revealed this, and they didn't really explain it in the best detail. And that's a huge thing, bro. Like, that's a huge, like, the way when you roll out something of this magnitude, you have to be kind of descriptive, and it feels like they weren't as descriptive about it, and that's kind of the issue. But yes, I think Brian McCaddy made a very good point. You are still ahead of the game paying the $30 a month. You are, but most people aren't going to be paying $30 a month. The only people paying $30 a month are going to be the people who actually don't have cable or a TV service of some point. Believe it or not, most people do. Maybe you got rid of traditional cable. Maybe you got rid of AT&T Uverse. Maybe you got rid of DirecTV. Maybe you got rid of Dish Network, Verizon, Fios. But then you move to YouTube TV or Hulu Live TV or Sling TV, something of that nature, and you still qualify for this. Now, the reason for that, by the way, just so you guys can understand why, the reason why that's even happened is because Disney doesn't want the cable industry to die. They don't want the industry to die because they need the industry to live. They need viewership. They thrive on viewership. So in order to get people to watch, this is the way they have to do it. And that's why you see that they're offering that. You know, it's not an additional charge. Now, of course, they have their other options. They have the ESPN Select. Personally speaking, I don't watch Disney Plus. I did at one point test out Disney Plus because I kept seeing ads where Disney Plus was available to me for $2 a month for 6 months. So literally $12 for 6 months is what I paid, and it had ads or whatever. But I watched a few things on there, and then I canceled it. There was no need for me to watch Disney Plus. However, I get Hulu for free from my cell phone provider. So Hulu is shutting down and integrating with Disney Plus, which now means Disney Plus is going to be quite valuable to me. But Disney Plus will also be bundled in with this for a year. So I'll take a look at the pricing. But like I said, I'll have the new ESPN thing for free, which means I'll be able to watch it. But also WWE will be on cable TV for their premium live events. Keep that in mind. WWE premium live events will be available on cable TV. Kind of crazy to think about. But with Hulu shutting down and being integrated into Disney Plus, that is interesting to me. And I want to see how they price that out too, because I really don't know what their plan is there. At this point, they haven't revealed too much other than the app will be shutting down and merging with Disney Plus. So I think that's going to be interesting. The app should be out later this month, August 21st, but WWE will not be rolling out the pay-per-views until 2026 because of that, because of the agreement doesn't kick in until next time. Brian McCaddy, by the way, shout out to Brian McCaddy for that super chat. Tolino Channel dropped a super chat for 100 Indian rupees. He says, with WWE making big TV deals and TNA, AAA looking for TV deals, wrestling is in a boom period. Maybe more independent promotions will align with WWE. I think that's a possibility, but I don't think WWE has the interest of working with the smaller companies. I think WWE's interest right now is pushing TNA to the top. I think their interest is growing in AAA. Nick Khan is waiting for the AAA deal to close. Once it closes, they'll be ready to search. You know, they're ready to search on the TV deal for AAA. Which I will talk to you guys about TNA and AAA's TV deal in just a little bit, because I do have some insight on that, and I think WWE has been very calculative. I think they're being very calculative with how they're moving forward with that. But really quick, before we take a look at the chat and more super chats and all that good stuff, I just want to make sure, do you guys now have a better understanding of what I have just gone through and discussed with the TV deal? Does this make a lot more sense for you guys? Does this actually sound a lot better now? Because I'm curious. Did I explain this to you guys in a way that now you don't feel as fearful about spending an extra $30? Because that's a big thing. Trust me, I saw it and I was freaking out. I was like, "There's no way." There's no way. And then I realized, oh, okay. Yeah, I see some people. Adam says, I have YouTube TV. Will it work? Yes, you have YouTube TV, so you do not have to pay $30. Correct. You do not got to worry about it, my friend. You're going to get it for free. You're going to go on the YouTube TV app and be like, I want to watch WWE Backlash. Without even having to open up that ESPN app, you're just going to go to YouTube TV and go to ESPN, and then you'll have WWE Backlash. I'm sorry, bro. That is sick. I couldn't believe it. I was genuinely shocked by that. Dude, let's be real. Anybody in their right mind, if you tell somebody, dude, you got to pay an extra $30 a month, that's ridiculous. Come on. It's ridiculous. We had the WWE Network for $10 a month. Peacock, $10, $15 a month, whatever, you know? So the thing is, like, I understand $30 a month is a huge asking price, but that's only for the people that don't have cable or TV service. So, and I see people talking about VPNs or whatever, but that's not relevant, because if you have TV, then why would you even worry about that? If you have TV service and you have then you basically have it. So yes, Frank said it in the chat. Yes, ESPN will basically have the WWE PLEs on TV. Correct. So just keep in mind, there's no better bargain than that. And I'm just being honest. TNA Plus, you pay $10 a month for, and I love TNA Plus, and I think TNA Plus is extremely valuable. But TNA Plus, you pay $10 a month, and then, oh, you want to buy Bound for Glory, you got to pay $40 on top of that. Okay? In addition to that, AEW is going to be putting pay-per-views on HBO Max. I have the ad-free version of HBO Max right now. It's $19.99 a month. So if I pay $19.99 a month and I don't have any ads on HBO Max, it's great. And that's how I can watch, Collision and Dynamite or whatever. But what's crazy about that is once they roll out the pay-per-views this year, like they said they would, on HBO Max, I have to pay an additional $30, $40, $50, maybe $60 on top of that. Which is a crazy thing. So WWE is actually making it easier, and it's the best economical option in the business right now. As far as professional wrestling goes, it's probably the most economical option for people who have television. Everybody still has TV service. Yes, you may have gotten rid of DirecTV satellite and may have switched to YouTube TV, but you still technically have a cable TV service. So the ESPN app, it ends up only impacts the people who 100% got rid of live TV. If you got rid of live TV services, then you're going to pay $30 a month. At that point, I don't have sympathy for you. You cut the cord because you didn't want to watch TV. So now you're going to pay to watch TV. That's just how it is. Television is free. Television is not free. It's never been free. Cable bills have always been astronomical. Everybody knows it's a fucking nightmare. You sign up for Comcast or something, they get you for a very low price for the first 2 years. After 2 years, the price goes up double or triple, and you're sitting there on the phone trying to get the fucking price down, and you're asking for a new customer promotion, but they don't want to give you a new customer promotion because you're not a new customer promotion. So what do? You switch from Comcast to DirecTV, or you switch to Charter, or you switch to Cox, or you switch to AT&T or Verizon, Fios. So no, that's why you got rid of cable, so you could go to YouTube TV. Okay, you got YouTube TV. Now you still have this opportunity. So this is going to be a really, really good thing. Honestly, this is going to be a really good thing for wrestling fans. And like I said, it's the most economical option that there is. So if you guys care about saving money, if you guys care about that kind of thing, don't spend the extra $30 a month. You'll be completely fine. I want to show some love really quick to Kevin KJD on Twitter, on X. He's watching. And in the chat, he says, does the Disney bundle include the new ESPN app? So that's where this comes into play. So I'll show it on the screen. But the bundle will be Disney Plus. Hulu is going away. Hulu will merge with Disney Plus, okay? So Disney Plus and ESPN Unlimited is $29.99 a month for the first 12 months. So if you do decide to pay the $29.99 a month, you will get the Hulu on there. Now, let's say, for example, you choose, because you have YouTube TV or Sling TV, you're not going to get the Disney Plus on top of that. But at that point, you just pay whatever Disney Plus costs. I don't know what that is. But there is an option to bundle it if you are somebody who just doesn't have TV at all. So that's hopefully I answered your question there. Shout out to Kevin in the chat. We got like 400 people watching live. So thank you to everybody who's tuning in. And hopefully I am doing a good job of explaining this to you guys. And hopefully this is working. Yeah. Now I'm going to address some things in the chat. And then of course we're going to talk about TNA and AAA and TV deals there because I think there is something in the works there. But I'm seeing a lot of questions and my job is to try and help you guys bring clarity. If you guys appreciate it, we do have a super chat goal that's active. We're 3 super chats away from hitting it. I'm taking a look at the chats. I'm taking a look at a lot of questions, and I want to do my best to answer them. So hopefully you guys are keeping the chat rocking across YouTube and Twitter. Now, for example, we have a question, or a comment that I want to address. So Classic J Live says, too many shows on too many different networks and apps. It's a joke. Well, that was the risk. If you cut the cord, that was the risk that you were going to run with. So yes. Angel23 says, I have Hulu Live TV, so in 2026, am I going to be able to watch the PLE? Yes, you will be able to watch it without having to pay extra. The way that it'll work is you can go on Hulu Live TV and go to ESPN or ESPN2 or ESPN3 or whatever, ESPN is, whatever, and you'll be able to watch WWE pay-per-views through your cable service, through Hulu Live TV. Now, the beauty of that is if you don't want to watch it on the Hulu app, but then you want to watch it on ESPN, that ESPN app is free because you have Hulu Live TV. Great question. Let's see. Jordan says, hopefully Sling TV will be involved. Yeah, you'll be fine. Zamarian says, what about Dish Network? Yes, you'll be fine. Charles E. Bright says this move to ESPN isn't good. They are pricing out the casual fan, and it sucks. They are not pricing out anybody. The casual fan, honestly, probably doesn't even have the casual fan probably still has a TV service. So no, this is not. I'm sorry. There is things I will defend, and trust me, you guys know when it comes to capitalism and when it comes to companies being greedy, I shoot it down. But this is not one of those things I will talk against because economically it just makes more sense. WWE and ESPN should have explained this a lot better, I feel. But I'm not going to sit here and say that economically this is a bad thing. It is only bad if you don't have a TV service. And again, I can't have sympathy for you. If you chose to cut the cord, then you thought you probably walked off. You had a cable bill at one point, and then you said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to cut the cord. Well, that's what happened. You cut the cord, and then every other company was like, well, fuck that. We still want to make our money. Guys, the reason why streaming even became a thing after cable was because the TV networks were trying to monetize their content. And they all went into some serious debt to do so. They all did. HBO, Warner Bros. Discovery. They had Discovery Plus, and then they had Warner Bros. Discovery. Like, they came all together, one together. They became one. They became one, and then what ended up happening? It cost more money to get all these different streaming apps than it did for cable. So it's better to just get YouTube TV for $80 a month or whatever it is, $70, $80 a month, or Sling TV or whatever. Get ESPN, get your bundles, get your shows that you like and the TV networks that you like, and then you have ESPN for free. It's not a big deal. So they are not pricing out fans. I promise you they are not pricing out fans. This is not, dude, I'm not giving you my opinion. This is literally a fucking fact. This is literally a fact. What they are presenting to people is an economical option that is far better than what currently exists. The only reason why you say this is because you say, oh my God, it costs $30 for WWE pay-per-views. And if you cut the cord, yes, that's what you're paying. You're paying $30 for ESPN. Netflix is not a TV replacement. Netflix was a Blockbuster replacement. So let's be clear on that. When it comes to actual TV shows and stuff, none of those streaming services were a replacement. None of those streaming apps were a replacement to actual live TV. So it's not pricing out the fan. The fan is not being priced out. The fans are honestly the ones who benefit the most from this. I really don't even know how ESPN and Disney make money from this. They're spending almost $2 billion in 5 years. I don't know how they're going to make money off of this. But fans are actually, we're lucky. Angel DeJesus says, if you have YouTube TV, do you have to download the ESPN to watch the WWE PLE? No. You should, but you don't have to because they'll have it on cable TV. But you don't have to. But I think you should because I think there's going to be so much stuff on that app. And again, you're not paying for it. It's going to be free for you. Nats fan says, Ango, where are the libraries going? The library isn't moving. As of now, the library is staying on Peacock. Which I kind of want to talk to you guys about Peacock, to be honest. See how misinformation is so dangerous, bro? Do you guys understand how dangerous misinformation is now? Because there's a lot of people who didn't know this, and by the looks of it in the chat, you guys are completely killing it, and you guys are being awesome, and you guys are telling me I'm doing it. So Rob, for example, in the chat says, I have Xfinity where I get ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News. You're saying I will get WWE pay-per-view on Xfinity. Yes, sir, my friend. Yes, you are. Yes, sir. That's the beauty of it, my friend. So now this is a great question. Rodney says, why pay for Peacock for the library? Well, I think Peacock is an interesting thing because you don't have to. I think it's a great question, though. To be honest with you, I think the library is going to eventually... I think WWE... This is a bold prediction. I think WWE will do their own thing with their library. But with Peacock, I think you got to keep in mind, like, Saturday night's main event will probably still be ongoing with NBC. So you got to factor that in, right? But that's kind of a gray area. I don't know. Personally speaking, I only liked Peacock because, one, I got it for free, but I like the movies that are on there. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of great movies on Peacock, a lot of old school movies that I grew up watching that are on Peacock. So it's been very good. And then also Love Island, my friends. Love Island is on Peacock. So there's things I just liked about having Peacock. You know what I mean? We got a super chat from True Flight 11 for $9.99. Shout out to True Flight. He says WWE still hasn't put all the old Raw episodes to Netflix. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. So that's going to be really interesting. That is going to be really interesting to see what they do with the old episodes of Raw, because honestly, I have no idea. That's going to be a very tricky situation for the people that have Netflix. I don't pay for Netflix. Like I said, I get Netflix for free and I got Peacock for free. One through my cell phone service and then one through my internet service or through my TV service, you know. So I get one. So the thing is I don't pay for those, so I don't get mad. But of course, I think you have to factor in with Netflix, that's for WWE Raw. That's for WWE Raw. But essentially in 2026, I will be paying no additional money to watch WWE. I've always had TV service. I've always had Netflix. I've always had Peacock. I've always never had to pay for those. Now I will not have to pay for WWE with the new TV deal with ESPN. I'll be honest with you. That makes me freaking happy. And I'm telling you guys, my reaction when I saw the news, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot. That's a big one. That's a lot. That's a lot of money to ask for. And then I realized what's going to happen. Then I seen all the answers and the things that I'm showing you guys. And I'm like, okay, this is fucking awesome. So, really good things there. Shout out to True Flight 11 for the super chat. Sharon Dye dropped $1.99. She didn't leave a comment, but shout out to Sharon as well for the super chat. I appreciate you. We got another super chat from Juan Alarcon. Let me see. Excuse me. Juan Alarcon. I probably did not. Alarcon. Juan Alarcon. Hopefully I'm not butchering your name, but I do appreciate the $5 super chat. Juan says, the UFC PLE you still have to pay. Are WWE going to be the same? I already have the Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN bundle, and DirecTV. Sorry, just joined. Okay, great question. It's okay that you just joined. I'm going to give you the answer that you're looking for. So, to address this, right now we cannot factor in UFC. And I don't want to confuse you guys. There's a lot of rumors of what might happen with UFC, but nothing's been announced yet. Okay, so I don't want to confuse you with the UFC thing, but as of right now, there's no guarantee UFC will even be part of this package in 2026. I think they will, But I don't think their pay-per-views will be on there. I only think fight nights will be on ESPN. But I think pay-per-views move somewhere else. With that being said, to answer your question, you said, I already have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus bundle, but I also have DirecTV. Okay, so Hulu is going away, and Hulu is going to shut down and merge with Disney Plus. Okay? Because you have DirecTV, what you will do is when the new ESPN app comes out, you're going to go into the ESPN app and authenticate it through DirecTV. In fact, here's what we'll do. Guys, when it comes out, the app launches August 21st. I'll go live and I'll show you guys how to do it. It's a very common thing. For example, in order for me to have Netflix for free, I had to go through T-Mobile and authenticate it with Netflix. It's a quick process. Very, very easy. You'll do the same thing. So you will not pay $30 a month, Juan. If anything, you're probably going to spend less because you already have DirecTV. And because Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN Plus, that whole thing is going away. The good news is you'll probably save money. I think you could probably get rid of those apps because, like I said, Disney Plus and Hulu are merging together. So you're actually probably going to save money by this whole thing happening. Juan, I think you are literally in the same situation as me. You are going to save money and get the WWE pay-per-views. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, and thank you for joining us. Like I said, I know we have quite a few people watching live on YouTube and Twitter, so shout out to everybody. We are literally at 400 and something viewers. It means a lot. And shout out to everybody watching on X. If you guys could retweet this on X, that'd be great. If you guys are on YouTube, go ahead and slap that like button for me. Just let me know that you're rocking with me. Give me a thumbs up in the chat or something, just to know that I'm appreciated. I would love to feel validated right now. But shout out to you guys. I do appreciate it. Now, Nats fan is bringing up the vaults. So I think the vault, we don't know. I really don't know how to answer that question, only because we just don't know what WWE's plan is. Honestly, I hate to say it, but we really just don't know how it's going to be. I wish I could have a better answer for you. I really don't know. I really, really don't know. I would like to think at some point we'll have an answer soon. I think we'll have an answer sometime soon on that. When it comes to the vaults. WCW Vault, ECW or WWF, Raw, SmackDown, whatever, NXT. They're doing the YouTube channel. Clearly, they have some sort of plan. I just don't know what that is going to be. So I don't want to tell you anything that is wrong for certain, but it is something to pay attention to. I'll keep you guys updated once that information comes out. And for sure, I will keep you guys updated. Daryl McCluskey says, Ango, I have DirecTV and I have ESPN, so I am good, right? Yes, sir. You are good. No additional monies for you. You don't got to worry about it. Listen, the best thing, like, the best thing for me is the fact, like, the reason why I love this is I'm saving money. I'm saving money. You know? So I don't feel like I'm happy with the fact that I don't have to spend money, and I like the fact that if anything, I'll just have just a much more organized space to watch everything. So I like it. At first, I didn't like it. Let me be clear. When I saw this news, if you guys are just joining me, when I saw this news, I was like, "Fuck!" I was pissed. I wasn't too thrilled about it. Now I'm thrilled about it. And by the looks of it, I think everybody's mood has changed after I went live. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, Phil says, I got Xfinity. I'll be okay. Phil, I texted you, buddy. I invited you on the stream today. But it's okay. Yeah, you're cut. You're good. I didn't get no text. What the hell? Brother, I did not get your text. Are you sure you texted me? But yes, you are fine. You have Xfinity. You're fine. You're going to be good. Darth Bane dropping a $4.99 super chat. Darth Bane says, thanks for clearing this up because when I first heard about this, I was going to leave with Cena at the end of the year. Yeah, dude, I get it. And listen, guys, it's really important you know who you're following on social media and YouTube because I see Cultaholic. I don't see any of these other channels, other people talking about it. I'm not trying to take shots at people, but I think it's really important that you offer information to people, especially something of this magnitude. It impacts people's pockets, bro. People, we're not dumb. The economy in 2025 is not that great. I don't know if it's going to get even better in 2026. The economy, people have bills, people have life to pay for. There's things, it costs money. I'm very aware of that. And so for me, I don't want people to panic. I don't want people to freak out because there is a lot of ways to do this. And again, it's just a very good economical option. So yes, thankfully we don't have to worry about it. And that's why I'm excited about it. And I understand, hey, I was going to leave with Cena at the end of the year. Bro, I get it. Honestly, I get it. I understand that sentiment. I could totally see why people would fucking want to dip out because it just sounds like WWE's being greedy and it sounds like TKO is trying to ask for a shit ton of money. But the reality is that's not what's happening. And thankfully, that's not what's happening. Thankfully. Because if that is what was happening, then it would be a problem. It would definitely be a problem. So, again, just as a quick recap, this is the breakdown. ESPN Unlimited, $29.99 a month. It includes everything from ESPN. For the first year, Disney Plus, which will combine with Hulu, because Hulu is going away, it'll be $29.99 a month. This page that you see here, this image that you see here on the screen, let me just be perfectly clear here. This right here, this image, let me just make sure you guys can see. This one right here on the screen. This one right here. That image that you see only applies to you if you don't have a TV service, okay? Again, this is the final time I should be saying it. Probably I'll end up saying it more. But if you have TV service, DirecTV, Comcast, Cox, Charter, Fios, whatever, if you have any of those, if you have YouTube TV, Sling TV, stuff of that nature, you should be fine. You should be fine. You're only paying $30 a month if you completely got away from TV. That's it. Okay? Just to recap. And then this is straight from ESPN and Disney themselves. So there you guys go. Traditional TV providers, you will have this for free. Pretty badass. So again, you don't got to worry about it. You have Verizon Fios, you're good, my friend. You don't even have to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it at all. Shout out to Darth Bane for that super chat. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Peacock. You guys good with that? Can we move on? Can we talk about Peacock? Before we talk about Peacock, let's talk about how ESPN is going to move forward. Okay? Yeah, Dish Network, you're fine. Guys, it's not difficult. Name a TV service. If you have ESPN on it, you're fine. Charlton Christian says only select PLEs will be on ESPN's linear channels. Yes, but if you have the cable service, it doesn't matter. You could just download the fucking app and you get it for free. So you don't got to pay for it. Let me reiterate for the 1,000th time. You don't got to pay for it. You got traditional TV. You don't got to pay for it. Authenticated with the app. You're completely fine. It's beautiful. Yes, no problem. Thank you guys. Brandon, thank you. I appreciate that comment. Good looking on clearing that up. Absolutely. Now, this is where the fun begins. WWE going to ESPN. You know what this means? ESPN will now bring SportsCenter to WWE PLEs. WWE pre-show and post-show will be on ESPN, which is sick. I think that's beautiful. This is no different than ESPN watching. This is no different than ESPN watching NBA on ESPN. Or NFL on ESPN or other sports, right? They got SportsCenter, they got their analysts and stuff. They do a pre-show, they do a post-show. That will be happening as well. Nats fan says, great, Stephen A. Smith covering WWE. Well, Nats fan, you keep saying Ango should be on Sirius XM. How about Ango on ESPN? Huh? Yes. Now, the wrestling old head also makes a really good point. Now, this explains why they did away with the post-show scrum. Yes. The way you guys saw the post-show is probably what it's going to be, but on ESPN. It'll be on ESPN. I'm sure it'll be on WWE's YouTube. You're going to have ESPN people. You're going to have WWE people. But now we got to make it happen. Ango, baby. Get Ango on ESPN to break down the shows, right? That's what's got to happen. But who knows if that'll happen. Obviously, I'm just fucking around a little bit. But, yeah, that's going to be really dope. So ESPN's going to be doing that. And then, of course, they are going to be doing the Sports Center because ESPN does Sports Center. So they'll do Sports Center sometimes at WWE venues. So that'll be really cool. And obviously with ESPN, WWE, just like we've seen, right, with WWE and NBC, WWE and the CW, WWE and Netflix, there's going to be a lot of cross-promotion there as well. And that'll be really dope. Honestly, that's going to be really fun, like just more cross-promotion. So there's a lot of opportunity there. So, yeah. Juan says, Stephen A. Smith yelling at Ango because of a hot WWE take. Listen, man. Bring me in, and it'll be fun. But in all seriousness, I don't necessarily expect them to... I don't expect them to bring me in, but I'm just saying it would be fun. It's nice to manifest a little bit. It would be really cool to bring my passion to something of that nature, you know? But who knows? I genuinely don't know. Yes, there will be definitely much more crossover. Definitely much more crossover for sure. So now let's talk a little bit about Peacock. I've been talking about the TNA TV deal for a while. It is very clear that TKO and WWE are trying to help TNA get a TV deal. I fully expect... I'm sorry. Kevin Kellum. Hey, Ango. Kevin from Sports Keto Wrestling. Love your content and honest analysis. Hello, Kevin. Nice to meet you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you. That was very nice. So let's talk about Peacock. I've told you guys before for months, honestly, for a good 2 years. I would say a good 2 years now, I've been talking to you guys about the TNA TV deal. Obviously, WWE's partnership with TNA has been great, and I think it's very, very clear. So what I'm seeing... Oh, Kellum has a stand-up special coming out soon. He's a good dude. Well, send it to me. Where can I buy this thing? I want to watch. That sounds cool. That sounds really cool. Oh, really quick, before I get to the TNA thing. Todd Burnett, great comment in the chat. He says, I'm not paying for cable again. Spectrum was $290 a month. Dude. Yeah. Yeah, so $290 a month, or you get Netflix for $10, HBO Max for $10, ESPN for $39.99, and whatever else. Dude, now you're paying less than cable. Good job. There you go. Again, better economically. So yeah, let's talk about this. I think TNA lands somewhere between CW, A&E, Peacock, NBC, whatever. WWE is obviously doing some stuff with AAA. We can't wait for a TV deal to be announced until WWE officially buys AAA. Nick Khan speaking about this, he says they're waiting full force for it to close, and then obviously we'll see them do their thing. So the beautiful part about this, the thing that I'm loving really a lot about the AAA thing is WWE exits Peacock, but NBC and Peacock will still have SmackDown. So that's not changing. We're still going to see that, which is awesome. In addition to that, I do believe to some extent we will in fact see AAA on Peacock. Now, what's interesting is NBC Universal owns Telemundo, which is a Spanish-speaking channel. WWE owning AAA could potentially bring AAA to Telemundo and Peacock. I think that's a very, very big possibility. I also think TNA, yes, we've heard the rumors. Sci-Fi, we've heard the rumors of A&E. We hear the rumors of CW. We hear the rumors of Paramount, CBS, right? There's a lot of places. But if you're Peacock, if you're NBC, and you get TNA pay-per-views on Peacock and TNA Plus integrated on Peacock, and then TNA Impact is live every week, whether it's Sci-Fi or USA Network or whatever it may be, it fills the void and it has wrestling. So Peacock and NBC loses WWE to ESPN and WWE Raw to Netflix, but they have SmackDown and Saturday Night's Main Event, and then, oh, by the way, potentially TNA and AAA. You might be wondering, why would WWE want it this way? Well, it's good. They got 5 different TV partners, all of these different TV deals, all of this money coming in. And then when it comes to AEW trying to get a TV deal, they're going to have a really tough time because WWE is working with all these different partners. So if you want to know why WWE is doing it this way, 1, it's a lot of money, and 2, it keeps AEW away from them. It prevents AEW from getting a possible bigger TV deal, which is huge. So ultimately, this is a win-win situation. When you look at WWE, when you look at Peacock, when you look at all these different things, it's like WWE is an automatic winner, but the fans are actually not as impacted as much as you would think. Wow, there's just so much going on in the chat. No, WWE has a deal with A&E, so that's why LFG and those shows will remain on there. Phil said, why wouldn't WWE just put all the partnering companies under one umbrella? Because it's more money to be separate. Rob, you are 1,000,000% wrong. Every detail I'm giving you is per ESPN. So just keep that in mind. Everything I'm giving you guys, these images, this is per ESPN. What a fun stream. Does anybody else have any other questions? Is there any other clarification I could bring you guys? Zay2 Superior says, hey, I just looked it up. No, Hulu will not have WWE's live pay-per-views, only YouTube TV. Hulu has 2 services. There's Hulu, and then there's Hulu Live TV, which is Hulu's version of YouTube TV. You'll be fine if you have that. any other questions? No upcharges. No upcharges for no upcharges for WWE. I feel like I've answered everything. If you guys just joined, go ahead and start the stream. Go ahead and rewind, that kind of thing. We hit our super chat goal. Shout out to Darth Bane, Juan, Brian McCaddy. Shout out to everybody for the super chats. Darth Bane, I appreciate y'all. Again, we got this right here. So, yeah. It will. It is guaranteed. Literally, per ESPN, cable subscribers are covered. A traditional pay TV provider. See? From ESPN themselves, guys. The facts are in front of you. There you go. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Over 400 or 500 people watching. That was amazing. If you guys have questions, I'll try to answer them. Discord link is in the chat. Feel free to join Discord. We're building something special over there. We got a community. It's amazing. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you guys tomorrow.